I think that anyone with an education learns to be critical. Critical thinking is very, very important, and I think that most educated people, or anyone just a basic education, realizes quite quickly in life that you have to be critical about certain things, and they soon realize that the media, the majority of it is propaganda. If you look at all the stories that have been published in newspapers and news websites, the majority of them are being published for a reason. They're being published for someone, or for a company, or something like that. Whether it's a bank, a corporation, a politician, an agenda, for whatever reason. There's always a reason why a story is being published, and you need to read between the lines sometimes and realize that. Now, as someone who does a lot of writing, I've been writing articles online 18, 19 years, and blogging and all that, and the standard of writing online has plummeted. And initially this was just, blogs. There was a lot of blogs with, poor articles getting to the top of rankings through manipulation. But now we're seeing it in mainstream news websites, the Daily Star and all these websites. And the standard of it, like, I'm not saying I'm a Pulitzer Prize winning writer. I'm not. I'm just a regular guy. But some of these articles are full of spelling mistakes. They don't cite sources. It's like they're written by 5-year-olds, so it's very frustrating. But it's even more apparent, propaganda-wise. It's even more apparent in the cryptocurrency world. We're seeing a lot of negative stories about cryptocurrency. It's fear-mongering, and what we're seeing is the news websites, and I'm talking all the main ones: CNN, BBC, The Guardian, all these large news websites that prize themselves as being honest and professional. They're not doing any research about anything, and they're just supporting the bank's perspective and just pushing whatever agenda they want. Last week, I published a video for you guys about the Twitter scam. So this was the Twitter crypto scam, and essentially what's happening is the scam is going out there and they're looking at the top guys in Twitter, in cryptocurrency, anyone who's famous with millions of subscribers, and they're posting underneath, hey, if you send me 0.1 Ethereum or 0.1 Bitcoin or whatever, we'll send you 1 or 2 back. Now, to most people, it's kind of obvious that this isn't a thing, and that, why would anyone just give out money like that? But people are falling for this, unfortunately. And a part of me thinks, well, they deserve it for being so silly to send the money that way, but I realise some people just aren't educated about it. Now, one of the examples I used last week was from Vitalik. He's the founder of Ethereum, and you can see it there. This is just from my video from last week. I am donating 100 Ethereum to the ETH community, and this is what happens, and you'll be surprised. People are sending thousands and thousands every hour. It's ridiculous how much money these guys are making, but it's a scam. Now, Vitalik has come out and he's reminding people that it is a scam, and reminding people to be careful. And I think in the cryptocurrency community, he's a very positive force. He posts things like this: cryptocurrencies are volatile, and stop investing money that you can't afford to lose. And I think that's really good advice. But you can see here, like, hey guys, I want to give, even underneath there's a scammer with a different username who's trying to scam people underneath, saying, hey, send me some money, I'll send you some back, to my followers, trying to appear as if they're Vitalik. Now, it's obvious that that's a scam to most people, but the bots get people to like them and share it and go, oh, I received my money, and it works. Now, as I said, it's obvious to most people that this is a scam, but, well, again, going back to the media don't do the research, and the media are idiots. They really are idiots. Vitalik talked about this, and he's talking about the Twitter scams, and he's talking about the media are complicit in it, because this website here, they actually said that, I mean, this is the article here, but right, okay, the article he's linked to is obviously, it was there earlier on. They've obviously deleted it because they realised they messed up. But they said that Buchanan has a flair for engaging with his followers, using the thread to announce a promotion. Followers up to a certain number were sent a fraction to provide their reward. So basically, this the website, this CCN, they've removed it because they've realised, oh no, we've messed up. But what they were originally claiming was that he was scamming people. He's not. He is actively telling people, don't do this. and 2 seconds of research would have found that out. Now, I'm not saying that's not the biggest news website in the world, you know, CCN, but as far as scaremongering goes, you know, the media, it's unbelievable how much the media are scaremongering. You see these kind of stories every day. This is a Sunday Express. It's a UK website and newspaper. You see these kind of news articles every single day. Every single day. They might throw in a wee positive story every now and then. A little positive story just to, you know, try and give the impression they're being balanced. But look at this. Bitcoin danger. Bitcoin danger. Cryptocurrency fans furious as JP Morgan point out a simple design flaw. Now, basically, I'll link to the article so you can check it out, but it's basically talking about how cryptocurrency isn't very liquid and you can't get your money as quickly as possible. And then it's talking about the benefits of fiat money and things like that. Now, it's such a biased article, it's ridiculous. It doesn't point out any facts, basically. What do you need for emergency liquidity in the first place? Now, this JP Morgan is obviously a bank, so everything they talk about is in a positive, you know, it's a positive spin about the bank. But saying that Bitcoin isn't liquid is ridiculous. You know, if you invest in stocks and shares, if you invest in property, it's not easy to make that liquid very, very quickly. I've got Bitcoin and I could cash that out and have it in my account within a few hours. This thing that they're talking about liquidity and all that, it's such a biased perspective. And you know, newspapers like the Sunday Express have a responsibility to try and see both sides of the story, but they also have a responsibility not to publish this kind of crap. It's lies. It's just saying that it's not secure or saying it's not liquid and all that. If that was a legitimate thing, fair enough. But it's just from a bank's perspective. Let's remember, you know, what the banks did a few years ago. The banks can't be trusted, but I know that makes me sound like a conspiracy theorist. But if you just look at it from a liquidity point of view, in the UK, I think it's anything, was it a few years ago it was like 60, 70,000 pounds, and anything over that, if the bank fails, you don't get your money back. Now, they don't point that out in the article. They don't point out all the problems with fiat currency, with inflation, with banks manipulation, with banks just withholding your money for whatever reason, bank charges, all these kind of things. They don't point that out. They're just going for what some bankers said, that Bitcoin has no, what was it said? So banks have no incentives to manage liquidity risk. Right, I'll let you guys read the article, but I don't want to focus too much on that article specifically. It's more about the fact that every single day these Bitcoin negative cryptocurrency negative Bitcoin articles are coming out, and I did talk about the other week where there was some positive stories coming out, but we will see more of this fear mongering over the next couple of years. It's going to be there all the time. But as I said, critical thinking, you need to read between the lines. Why are they saying this? Is it a top, you know, analyst? Is it a top scientist saying this? No, it's a bank, and the bank want your money. It's pretty poor that the media is behind all this. You know, the media. I mean, the one that Vitalik was pointing out was actually a cryptocurrency blog. It just handed the research, but you see this every day with news websites that aren't doing the research, and yet they publish a big story. And because of their followings, they can get that to a lot of people, and it does influence people, and it does negatively influence cryptocurrency. But you know, this kind of thing it's not just about cryptocurrency. It's just about the fact that the media are puppets. They're puppets to banks. They're puppets to corporations, and you know, they were bought and sold many years ago. So, I'm not saying don't disbelieve everything you see online, or don't disbelieve everything you read in the newspaper, but be critical. Try and see both sides of of the story, and try and look at who benefits from these kind of stories, you know. And that goes for both sides. You know, if you see something that is, you know, and there's a top crypto investor and everything he says is overwhelmingly positive, including myself, including anyone, if all they say is 100% positive things about something, and they fail to look at the negative sides, then you know, you need to take that with a pinch of salt as well. Try and see two sides, you know, both sides of the story. And just remember, these guys, man, these people have an agenda. They do have an agenda. And, you know, they're always working things in the background. So that's my rant over, guys. It's frustrating seeing these articles every single week. It really is. But I'll link to those articles and tweets, and you can check them out for yourself. And do check out my video about the Twitter crypto scam. Be careful about that. You know, just in case it isn't obvious, but it is. I'd like to think most people think it is obvious, but be careful about that. I don't want anyone to lose money. So thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So please do leave a comment below. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe channel. Hit the subscribe channel? No, hit the subscribe button. See, I can't even talk. Right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care.